This is a 360-degree video, so you can click and drag on the screen or tilt and move your mobile device to rotate the view. For the most immersive experience, try watching it on a virtual reality headset. This is the first in a series of 360-degree videos focusing on cultural heritage sites in Italy that have been closed due to the coronavirus outbreak in spring 2020. This video concerns the Scrovegni Chapel, the interior of which we can see now. The fresco cycle that completely covers the interior surfaces is considered to be one of the most important masterpieces of Western art. As incredible as this space is, let's start the tour outside with an overview of the chapel and its environs. We are floating above the Scrovegni Chapel in Padua, Italy. Padua is a city in the Veneto region of northern Italy. In fact, the capital of Veneto is Venice, which is about 25 miles to the east, roughly in the direction we're currently looking, toward the rising sun. If we look behind us, we can see the Euganean Hills, rising through the fog to the southwest. These volcanic hills form the first regional park established in Veneto, and they are named after the Eugeni, an ethnic group that inhabited this region before the arrival of the Romans. Speaking of the ancient Romans, if we look directly below us, we can see the ruins of a Roman amphitheater. All that remains of the arena is the outer wall, which forms a distinctive oval shape. The structure with the red tile roof that is built into the ancient wall is the Scrovegni Chapel. The Scrovegni Chapel is named after Enrico Scrovegni, a wealthy banker, who commissioned the chapel in the early 1300s. However, it is often referred to as the Arena Chapel due to the fact that, as we can see, it is built directly into the ancient wall of the Roman arena, or amphitheater. In Enrico Scrovegni's day, this large grassy area in front of the chapel was essentially the front lawn of the Scrovegni Palace, which was to the left of the chapel and has since been demolished. Let's go down and stand in front of the chapel. These two etchings give you an idea of what this area looked like before the palace was torn down in 1827. You can see that even the facade of the palace followed the curving form of the amphitheater foundation on which it was built. The Gothic porch on the front of the Scrovegni Chapel has been removed as well. In the 1800s, the palace and chapel had fallen into disrepair, and it was the collapse of the arched porch in 1817 that prompted the city of Padua to intervene and undertake conservation work to preserve the structure. Today, the Scrovegni Chapel and the former Augustinian monastery, which we can see to the right of the chapel behind the palm trees, are an urban park located in the center of modern Padova. However, in the days of the Scrovegni, this area was on the very northern extents of the walled medieval city. Thus, the Scrovegni Palace, with its chapel and this large open space bounded by the ancient walls of the arena, could have been thought of as a suburban estate. Such estates were a typical demonstration of the wealth and power of medieval Italian families, and the Scrovegni were no exception. As we shall see when we enter the chapel, Enrico Scrovegni spared no expense in the decoration of the interior, which was covered in fresco by the famous Florentine painter Giotto. We will cover the content and history of Giotto's fresco cycle in a later video. As we move down the aisle of the chapel, I'll tell you a little bit about the technology that makes this video possible. All of the 360-degree imagery you're seeing now is derived from three-dimensional scans of the interior and exterior of the chapel. The municipality of Padova was kind enough to allow me to make 3D models of the chapel in January 2020, a month before the coronavirus pandemic devastated the northern regions of Italy. All museums and cultural sites in Italy were closed in early March 2020, but those in northern Italy, including the Scrovegni Chapel, closed over a week earlier in late February. The Scrovegni Chapel was dedicated on March 25, 1305, the celebration of the Annunciation. Let's go back to the center of the chapel and end the video with an audio excerpt of the Annunciation Mass performed on March 25th at the Scrovegni Chapel.
Rallegrati, piena di grazia, Madre di Gesù, umile figlia di Nazaret, sposa del fabbro Giuseppe, il Signore è con te. Rallegrati, piena di grazia, Madre di Gesù, Madre del Figlio d'Abramo, Madre del Figlio di David, Santa Madre del Signore. Rallegrati, piena di grazia, Madre di Gesù. Beata te che hai creduto, beata te che gli angeli cantano, te custode della parola. Rallegrati, piena di grazia, Madre di Gesù.